Hey up, hope you're all well. Bit of a mixed bag for you this week. Had a bit of a bad week, to be fair. Unfortunately I lost my Goromo Dexter. Yeah, so I love the way the pond is, and I love the fish cave, that they've got somewhere to escape and hide. But it's proved to be a pain, just with regards to the fact that I'd not seen the Goromo for probably a week, which, given I had just treated for flukes, and the fish were pretty annoyed with me anyway, and the temperature had dropped a little bit as well. It's not unusual, but it started to become unusual, if that makes sense. You would, over the course of a week, you would probably see them all at some point, but as it turned out, yeah, I've not seen him for a while. Anyway, I came out one day and he had what looked like a large greeny white, like cotton wool ball on his head almost. It's really difficult to explain. I'm certain I got a picture, or maybe even a short clip on my phone. I will try and dig that up and put it on. But I mean, as it was, you know, when I spotted it, I didn't hesitate on getting him out and trying to treat. So yeah, along with that, he had a bit of fin rot as well, and that was quite bad. So obviously the downside of having the cave, I've not seen him for a while, so I didn't pick up on anything, clearly. As soon as I saw him, I got him out, put him into the hospital tank, and within a few hours, unfortunately, gone. So I've been keeping a closer eye on the fish. Took another scrape. I took a scrape from the Goromo, and that was all clear. So I'm pleased that I got the flukes early and eliminated those. I couldn't find anything else on the scrape at all. I came down, took another fish, did another scrape, and the same, no flukes anymore, and couldn't find anything else. So what I've put it down to, and I'm hoping maybe a bit of feedback in the comments, I've put it down to the fact that they're at the lowest point. Obviously they've just gone through the winter, and they are still only small fish as well, so they've just gone through the winter. Their immune systems are really low down, and then I have obviously treated for flukes, and that's annoyed them as well. So yeah, the reduced immune system, I've put it down to a bacterial infection, which obviously I didn't spot in time. So on that, today, I've not seen Sheldon for a while. Let me just take you around here. I've got the hose in, I've just been doing a bit of a water change. Again, after treating for flukes, I advised not to do a water change for 3 weeks, so I've held off, but I've done one today. So anyone that knows the pond, this is the fish cave, so you can just make out the entrance there, and all of this. So there's 3 foot, it's 3.5 feet deep, 4 foot long, and at the widest point probably 2 feet, maybe 3 feet wide. So what I've done, I've moved this rock here, I'll point it out, and you can see the gap. So now I can get my GoPro and stick it down in there and just check on the fish. So going forward, if I don't see them for any period of time, at least I can just check and see if they're all right. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I've gone off on a tangent again. Yes, so I had not seen Sheldon for a while, the shower. He's about 30 cm, so he's the biggest I've got. I'd not seen him for well over a week, so obviously what had happened with the Goromo, I started worrying, so that prompted me to do that. I checked in the cave and saw him. He's sort of in an upright position, but perfectly still, but not moving. But at least he was there, and I couldn't make out whether he was breathing or whether he was alive or not. But anyway, a couple of days later he was out and about swimming. But what I did notice, that there was a small amount of fin rot on his tail. So yeah, I think the combination of the stress factors and the treatment has hit a couple of them hard. As you know, I've got the hospital tank up and running from last week's video, where I've got the small kajaku and the who else have I got in there? Oh god, I can't even remember. The Sankey, I think he is. And they're doing fine. They've perked up because it's a little bit warmer in there. I put some bacterial in, is it ariflavin? I think it's called actiflavin, something like that. I put some of that in, treated for any bacterial, and they seem fine. So yeah, I've taken Sheldon, the shower, a small amount of tail rot, and I've put him in there and done another dose of the actiflavin. So hopefully I've caught it early enough. I did a scrape when I took Sheldon out this morning, and that's perfectly clear. I've done water tests before I did the water change. I did the water tests. Everything tested spot on, well inside the parameters it usually is. So yeah, I'm hoping, unless anybody knows anything different that it might be, please let me know. But if I can rule out water parameters, I can rule out parasites. The only other thing I can think to put it down to is just the low immune system. The other thing, again, anybody that knows the pond, knows the channel, this didn't go in till September last year, so back end of the season where this went in. So that I didn't have chance to sort of feed the fish up as you would sufficiently through the summer. You feed them up so then they're going to last through the winter, because it's not a heated pond. So I don't know if that's a factor, the fact that there were young fish into the pond in September, and then a couple of months later straight into a quite harsh winter. So I suppose that's a contributing factor. I've got some really good high grade food, some NT Labs premium stuff, that I'm going to start feeding them hopefully in the next few weeks. I'm hoping the temperatures are going to pick up sufficiently to start feeding them the good stuff, and hopefully try and get a bit of growth on them and get some good food into them this summer. So yeah, that's that. What I will do, I'll just go down to the hospital tank and we'll just have a look in there, because I treated this morning. It turns the water lime green, so I'm just going to check and see if that's dispersed fully yet. So yeah, hang fire. So yeah, down at the hospital tank you can see excuse me, you can still see a bit of green in the water. It's not the best place to be filming, to be fair, but so yeah, it's currently 12 degrees in there. The little 300 watt heater, it doesn't heat it obviously, but it just stops it from freezing and getting too cold. So yeah, that's the treatment I've administered, and hopefully I don't know if you will be able to see, but there's Sheldon, and a slight bit of fin rot on the tail. The fins look okay. It's mainly on his tail, and like I say, I'm hoping I've caught it early enough so it's not going to be too detrimental, and he can recover all right. So yeah, that was a really quick one this week. So as usual, thanks very much to everyone that's visited, liked and subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost anything, and if you get something from the video, then it's win-win. Yeah, I will ask, like I said, if anybody does have any suggestions for something I might have missed, something else that could be wrong, by all means, please, all feedback's good feedback. So thanks very much, we'll see you next week. Cheers.